Good morning, teachers. We are here today to learn about writing across the curriculum. The plan is to incorporate 5 days of writing across the curriculum during the school year to improve writing skills. As you know, our elementary school is a traditional K-5 elementary. The population in the 2010 to 2011 enrollment was 291 students. In the past 3 years we have experienced a drop in enrollment of 10.8% and an increase in the truancy rates of students. In 2007 we had 36% of our students on free and reduced lunch, and in 2010 this number was increased to 71% of students. The decline in enrollment, the increased proportion of students on free and reduced lunch, and the trend of more economically disadvantaged students and student truancy have negatively impacted the students' progress in many subject areas, the staff necessary for at-risk programs, and of course a reduced budget for professional development and other services. Our school population composite is reported as 81.31% white, 7.27% African American, 0.35% Asian, 9.34% Hispanic, 1.73% American Indian, with 53.63% males and 46.37% females. The special education student number is 7% of the total population. We currently have 19 teachers on staff and class size varies anywhere from 18 to 24 students per class. Student academic data indicate that reading and math has been at a steady increase over the last 3 years. Reading has increased at an average of 3% per year, starting at 82% proficiency in 2007 and rising to 91% currently. Math has increased at an average of 1% per year, starting at 93% proficiency and rising to 96%. However, writing continues to drop. In 2007, 85% of students were advanced proficient or proficient on the MEP in writing, while in 2010 only 59% of students were advanced or proficient, leaving 41% of students partially proficient or not proficient. Analysis of existing data patterns reveal that while reading and math have received school-wide effort to build the capacity of students for learning in these areas, as well as maintaining skills learned, writing has been neglected in both the areas of building capacity for students to learn writing and the maintenance of writing skills, once developed. Male students seem particularly at risk for writing failure, as only 17% of our male population showed proficiency at some level on the MEP. Writing concerns, student failure rates in writing, and the wide gap between male and female students and truancy has led to lowered student and staff confidence in this area. The downward economic trend in the rising number of economically disadvantaged students could be interpreted to mean that a significant number of students are coming to school from homes where there is economic hardship and stress that may affect a student's performance in school. Also, research shows that many economically disadvantaged students come to school with less background knowledge and may be less ready to learn reading, writing, and math. We need to emphasize writing in the same way we have emphasized reading and math skills. In order to address the needs of staff and students, the school district and administrators will provide professional development in the area of writing. Professional development will be based on data-driven research-based best practices in writing. Our school is committed to greater use of data for decision-making within the school to provide the best learning opportunities and outcomes for our students. Based on our history of improving reading MEP scores at 3% a year and our math MEP at 1% a year, our target for a writing increase in proficiency will be at least 3% per year. We will monitor each program with the use of student achievement data and make adjustments as necessary. We are fully committed to implementing the new programs with strategy and integrity. We will be learning multiple writing strategies, but today we will focus on some special writing days. Let's get started. It is time to learn about one of the strategies writing across the curriculum. Here are objectives for the day. Objectives. Number 1. all teachers will review the 5 steps of the writing process. Number 2, all teachers will learn how to apply the writing process across the curriculum. Number 3, all teachers will experience the process the students will go through on the writing across the curriculum day. However, before we start with the core of this training, let's review our basic concerns from our last meeting. Remember that in our last professional development, we identified our needs based on the following questions. Number 1, what do you see as the problems with students' writing? Number 2, what do you think students need to do to improve their writing? Number 3, how can writing be explicitly taught within the school schedule? Number 4, is there any particular best practice for teaching writing? And Number 5, what are some school-wide activities that might help us improve our students' writing? Take few minutes to discuss the answers in your group, and then we will have a big group discussion about the needs of our school. All right. Let us talk about your answers. Yes, John. I see your point that every teacher must incorporate writing in their classrooms. Yes, Amy. I will write down your group points. Students should be given explicit writing prompts. Group 3 over there. Let me write your answer down. Students should practice writing more often in order to improve. Well, that gives us a good idea about why we need to improve writing. Okay, everybody, now separate into your departments. Go into the table with your department name. We are now going to practice this writing process. At our last PD, you all learned the 5 steps of the writing process. Today, we will review those steps and learn how they will be used on the designated days, and give some additional explanation. The first step in writing is brainstorming. Let us look on the Elmo at a sample of brainstorming. On our writing across the curriculum days, all first-hour teachers will guide their students through the brainstorming process on the given writing prompt that day. Now look at step 2 on the Elmo, which is drafting. All second-hour teachers will guide their students through the drafting process. Third-hour teachers will guide their students through the third step of writing, revision. This is a sample of a revised paper on the Elmo. Fourth-hour teachers will guide their students through the fourth step of writing, editing. Look at the Elmo at the sample of an edited paper. Now during fifth hour, students will be publishing their papers and teachers will collect them. The purpose of this day is to celebrate the writing process and its importance. We will also share this information and the students' published papers with their families. We are now going to practice the steps of writing together. At each table there is a writing prompt. I would like you to take about 7 minutes and brainstorm with your group. Make sure to write your ideas down. Okay, the 7 minutes are up. How did that go? Any questions? You see, there has to be a certain comfort level to brainstorm in a group. You have to make sure all ideas are accepted without negative comment. Please pass your paper clockwise to the next table. Now, as a group, work on drafting for 7 minutes. Any questions? Did you find it difficult to come to a consensus on your ideas? Okay, pass your papers again. Now work on revising. Look for adding or deleting ideas. Work on this for 7 minutes. How did that go? Now, switch papers again. Work with your group on editing. Check for grammar, punctuation and spelling mistakes. You have 7 minutes. Was this the easiest section for all of you since you are used to grading papers? Remember, it may be very difficult for your students. This section may require a review of editing tools with your students. Okay, switch papers for the last time. You are now working on the final draft, publishing. I will collect your papers in 7 minutes. How did that go? Any questions or comments? Yes, Mary, it can be awkward to do this with peers, but remember that is often how your students feel when we are asking them to participate in class discussions. Ladies and gentlemen, what you did today is a short version of what your students will experience on our Writing Across the Curriculum Day. However, by the end of the day each student will complete an individual paper instead of working in a group. Do you have any questions? Let me repeat Tina group question. She is wondering if we are going to write in a special such as gym, art and music. The answer is yes. The purpose of these writing days is to emphasize writing in all areas. Any other questions? Bob is wondering how we will decide the writing prompts. Each grade level will discuss and determine their writing prompts prior to the Writing Across the Curriculum days. Some will be related to current event topics and some may be determined by special interests or subject matter. For instance, on Election Day the topic would be related to the political process. However, on another writing day we may choose a topic such as favorite hobby. The choices for prompts will be provided prior to the writing day. Alright, Carrie would like to know who will grade the papers. They will be returned to the homeroom teacher for grading. Any other questions? I'll look forward to working with everyone on this project. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Now, I want you to fill out your ticket out papers. I want you to name 3 things you learned today about writing across the curriculum. Tell 2 ways you can facilitate writing across the curriculum in your classroom. Write down 1 thing you still have a question about. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your participation today. Please spend some time talking to your colleagues about how we can best utilize these writing days. Have a nice day.